So, now that we have the model basically finished, next step is to basically weather or bring out more of the details. Now, I've already taken the liberty and gone ahead and put on another gloss coat to lock in the decals and protect them. And so, the most basic weathering technique you can use is a pen wash. Now, I've already prepared the wash here. I'm using Model Master's enamel paints. Since the gloss coat we used is a lacquer base, the enamel thinner will not affect it. So you want to make basically a really thin wash color. In this case I'm using flat black, and have really thinned it down. Now hopefully this will show up on camera, but basically you're going to take a small brush and just touch it on the different lines, and the paint will run through these lines on its own. And this is because of the gloss coat that we applied. This will then allow us to do all the fine lines very easily without too much effort. Now don't worry about being too messy, as when we come back and clean up, we'll take care of the excess. Now, I prepared in advance this tail fin so that save time and film. You can jump right into it. Now you want to use the brand of thinner that paint you're using is, and I'm going to use a Q-tip for this, and you just want to get just a little bit of thinner on it. Any excess you'll want to wipe off. Then you want to just work in the direction of the airflow, and just keep slowly going. And once you have that, you're good to go. So here we have the model after I've given it its final clear coat. I chose to go with a semi-gloss for this model, as I felt that being most appropriate. In general, you'll almost always be going with either a semi-gloss coat or a flat coat, or some combination thereof. As for most things, that's the most appropriate color. The exception to this is for metallic finishes. Those you'll want to gloss coat, as that's most appropriate, though you may or may not want to tone it down depending on the exact finish you're going for. Now, as I said, I chose semi-gloss since this is technically a type of Air Force aircraft, and I frankly feel that a semi-gloss is the most appropriate sort of finishing for that kind of aircraft. So now the next step is to begin attaching some of the other parts that we've left off up until this point. Now for this step I like to use CA glue or super glue, particularly Zap-A-Gap. It's what I like to use for this step. Now, okay, one thing you should check when you're using it, unless it's a new bottle, is whether or not the nozzle is clogged. If it is, just take a nail, pierce it, and you're good to go again. Now I'm going to start by attaching the landing gear. And so for this, just going to take a little bit of the glue and just very gently add a little bit to the attachment point, and then go ahead and attach it. Now, what's nice about the engineering on this kit is that they've made the attachment points fairly deep and fairly obvious, and just overall Tamiya did a really good job engineering of this kit. Now, trying to get this little part to go in. That's one thing you sometimes have to just finagle with on kits, is fit with certain parts. Okay, so that's in and good. Alright. Another important thing to think about is also the ordering in which you put stuff on. In some cases, it's easier to put certain parts on first and then put others on later, and vice versa. So that is something you need to definitely think about in your planning. As one case in particular, is the Hasegawa Hornets, or not Hornets, Phantoms. I found that with regards to the main gear doors, those are a little touchy as far as the ordering that you go with. So that's something, again, you want to think about. And I'm just starting to run out of time for this video. Let's see. That's gonna go there. That goes there, there. Okay. And again, one thing you do want to keep handy is like a pair of tweezers for this kind of op work, as they do come in quite handy for fine details. I know I'm probably not getting this totally on camera. I apologize for that. But yeah, just they're good to have around and handy. So I'm just out of time. Next video we will continue with some more attachment of stuff, and I'll talk about a couple little oddball tips and tricks. So till then,